Hi there, it's John, and welcome to the channel once again. It is 5:27. It is December the 12th, and down in my basement with my friendly cup of coffee, enjoying the caffeine this morning. Hope you're having a great day. Merry Christmas to you and your family as we get within 2 weeks of Christmas. And today I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. But first, we're going to start off with a quiz, all right? So I'm going to read this, and while I'm reading it, who said it? Okay, so here is the quote. "Living next to you is in some ways like sleeping with an elephant. No matter how friendly and even-tempered is the beast, if I can call it that, one is affected by every twitch and grunt." Now insert the Jeopardy music here, but who said that? Do you know? Well, the answer is Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and that is Justin Trudeau's father. And right now, I'm going to use a different analogy here, but Trudeau seems to be poking the bear, which is the United States right now. And I don't know that you've seen this video, but I'm going to show it to you right now. And I've got some comments on what's going on here. And then I'm going to expand on this a little more than I've seen other people expand on it, because I'm a little concerned with some of the things that are saying here. I'm going to speak up for a group that is forgotten in society as well, okay? And it's a large percentage of the population. So this is what Trudeau said in front of the Equal Voice Foundation, which is a registered charity dedicated to improving gender representation in Canadian politics. Let's watch.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, and I have a different conclusion than a lot of people on this particular clip, but this is delusional. First off, what is this all about? First off, let's talk about Kamala Harris. He talks about her not being elected as president of the United States. Well, why is that? Because she was an awful candidate. She was a stupid woman. You know, she is proof how you can fail up in society. Kamala Harris is. I mean, Justin Trudeau himself is that. He would not be Prime Minister of Canada. Everybody knows he wouldn't be Prime Minister of Canada if it wasn't for the aforementioned Pierre Elliott Trudeau, his old man. But Kamala Harris is proof you can fail up. And for the leftists out there who don't know it, just tweet Willie Brown, Kamala Harris, and you'll get my point, okay? Now, what else is he doing here? Well, I think he's in election mode right now. Pierre Poilievre has been ruthless with him, and he's trying to get the female vote, which didn't go over very well in the United States of America. You see, a lot of people thought that all the women would vote as a group for Kamala Harris because of abortion. He doesn't mention abortion in here, but he talks about women's rights, and that's what he's referring to. But the thing was, in the United States, more women were concerned about paying rent and their food prices than abortion. And it wasn't the number one thing on their mind. You know, the only thing missing out of this video and him making those points about the election in the United States, big glasses and a bull ring in his nose. So those points have to be made. But he's in election mode right now, and he's going to try to woo the woman vote so he can get reelected. And I don't think it's going to work, because we have terrible issues here with the cost of living as well. So why is he doing this? Well, he's doing it because he was humiliated on the world stage by Donald Trump in a post he put on his Truth Social site, referring to Trudeau as the governor of the great state of Canada. That's why he's doing it. He's trying to look strong in the face of being humiliated, because his ego can't handle it. I mean, and as far as the clip goes and his thoughts on the United States election, I mean, Elon Musk tweeted out this: he's such an insufferable tool, won't be in power for much longer. The National Post ran this story today. Musk calls Trudeau an insufferable tool for comments on Kamala Harris's defeat. On Tuesday, Trudeau likened Kamala Harris's defeat in the U.S. presidential election to an attack on women's rights and progress. And then Michael Taube wrote this. This is from the National Post as well. And there's articles like this all over the place. Trudeau's feminist criticism of American voters is delusional. He's basically given up on being prime minister at this point. And this is when we really need a prime minister in this country. We need somebody to stick up for Canadians because we've got some serious issues right now. Now, I want to bring up another point, and this is the one that other people are catching on to, but he says, and I'm going to quote this, "I am and always will be a feminist. You will always have an ally in me and my government." Now, anybody who knows more about politics in Canada knows that this is an absolute BS statement by Trudeau. BS to the nth degree. And I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm going to let Warren Kinsella tell you. He was on Toronto Sun. They did put out a video yesterday, and he had this comment about what Trudeau said and his real thoughts on women.
So there has really been a breakdown in the relationship between the two of them. And I don't understand how she can stick around. He has really humiliated her in public, but, it's symptomatic of how he is. If you're a woman, if you're a member of cabinet, if you're a liberal, if you're strong, and if you say no to this prime minister, he will cut the legs out from under you. And Jody Wilson-Raybould and Jane Philpott and so many others can testify to the same thing.
So basically what Kinsella is saying is Trudeau doesn't like working with women who disagree with him. I mean, his ego can't handle it. I personally don't think he likes women all that much, but I'll leave it at that. We could have our own October surprise here in Canada. I may be wrong, but we'll have to wait. The election's coming up in less than a year now. But I also want to touch on something else he said in this video, okay? I don't think other people are mentioning this. He talks about everywhere women's rights and women's progress is under attack, unquote. And I want to know what is that's all about. How are women's rights under attack? I mentioned abortion earlier, but you can still get an abortion in the United States. I don't think it's too much to ask for a woman to drive from one state to the other if she wants to get rid of her child. I think that's a minor inconvenience as far as I'm concerned. And so abortion has not been banned in the United States. The right to choose abortion was given to the states over there, if I can put it that way. But I want to talk a little bit about men, because we're always hearing about women's rights and women's progress. And nobody ever talks about the troubles of men in our society. Men are more likely to be depressed, more likely to be homeless, more likely to be without friends as they get older, less likely to graduate or get a degree, more likely to end their lives, less likely to get, to support their children in divorce and to get custody of their children. So men are under attack in our society, and we say nothing about them. And the groups that do stick up for men get protested by women's groups. So I just want to stick up for men a little bit. We're always hearing about toxic masculinity and the patriarchy. Well, men need a little bit of support in our society as well. So how do we conclude with what Trudeau said the other day? Well, Trudeau's angry. Trudeau's in election mode. Trudeau's trying to woo the women vote in this situation. I don't think that's going to work either. Trudeau's dangerous. I've said he's dangerous. He's got his back against the wall. And this is not good for Canada. We're in deep trouble here because we have some big issues to deal with. Donald Trump will be the president on January 20th. And we've got the wrong guy leading this country right now as Trump takes power over there. And I can also bring up Doug Ford in Ontario. My Ontario friends, an election is coming. He's going to call an election. He's talking tough right now. He's threatening retaliatory tariffs on the United States, including withholding energy for a number of states. That's just ridiculous. And all Trudeau has to do, and all Doug Ford have to do, to make Donald Trump happy is to secure the border. And there are some major issues on the border. The number of terrorists crossing the border from Canada into the United States, 9 times what they were coming from Mexico into the United States. And Donald Trump is concerned about that. So right now, Trudeau is desperate and dangerous. And we're going to hear a lot more of this kind of stuff. And he's delusional as well. Thanks for watching.